Yeah, I mean, drinking on non-work days is always good. I was going to say...
Yeah, but it's my work day.
your work day. Yeah.
Yeah, but I drink on my work. Well,
and
no,
and
not
like,
while I'm
so we
At
get
the
there...
end of your
at the
work
end
day.
of work.
So here's the thing, is we usually start recording around 11. So we get there around 10 to set up like the boom mics and the cameras and the lights and da-da-da-da. And then we make sure that there's breakfast for everybody. And then we have to buy all the alcohol and all the, extras. And then you record, which takes probably, let's say 4 hours. And then drunkenly have to break everything down and put it in your car and then not drive home. And then we provide lunch, so we get like pizzas. And then people are like, you're already half in the bag. So you're like, hey, let's go to, Pillory. Let's go to the BBC. Let's go here. And then I've literally started recording at 10:30 in the morning and gotten home at 10:30 at night.
Woof.
And
All right, so
been
where are we going?
drunk.
Where are we going after this, then?
Yeah.
That's the question, right?
Huh?
So where are we going after this, then?
Oh, I'm down for that. The brewery across the street, not open today. Yeah, so, and then that day you get nothing done. I get no regular work done. And then it probably takes 24 like physical hours to edit and cut the music in, and Fish has to like clean up the audio. And then when all is said and done, you get zero return on all that investment. So it's just, it can't be our priority, which I would love it to be. I would, if I could cut out all the paint nights that we do to just make videos like that, I would in a heartbeat. Because to me, that is way more fun.
Well, what if the bars that you did this at were the ones that provided everything for it, because they're the ones getting the customers to come in from it, or are they even
But
getting
they don't really, like, I mean, we could...
Just thinking.
You could make it more about where you're drinking, which it's not really. But even that, I mean, we don't have the viewership to be like, oh, you're definitely going to see people, by the way, we're going to drink $200 worth of your alcohol.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, and then I wouldn't have all this lovely alcohol for us to sit here and, have a little bourbon while
Yeah, I
we
can't wait
record.
to have some of this 99 bananas.
That is
Vile.
Vile.
I know
Indeed.
exactly.
Although, if I had to... If there was one thing that I was going to, like, screw with... Can I swear?
Of
It's
course
your
you
show.
can.
If there's one thing where I was going
What
to...
the fuck do you think
I don't
this
know.
is?
If there was one thing that I'm going to, like, I'm going to fuck with you, I would give you the Cynar. I think that's the grossest. The Luxardo is not great.
What is that?
It's gotta be
Fuck if
rum.
I know.
Is that what they put Lachard cherries in?
It's only
think
that
so.
has to taste like a licorice.
It's not even that good.
Looks disgusting.
Not the
That bottle
absinthe.
looks
You
cheap.
wouldn't fuck with anyone with
Yeah.
the absinthe.
I would
It's
drink
only
that.
32.
Absinthe's fine.
It's
I
like
mean,
16.5%.
yeah, it's not strong. It just tastes gross.
Even
And then
worse.
there's like these two unlabeled bottles behind you. Yeah, so
Interesting.
those are mead.
well,
Turns out my nephew is like, I'm brewing mead, and I went hooking Uncle up, and
Okay.
he did.
And you went, oh god.
Well,
So
I
wait.
didn't. I was expecting like a beer bottle, not a wine bottle.
Yeah.
I wanted to
don't-
make sure I understood this correctly. So Matt and Andrew, you guys don't like mead? Are you kidding me?
I've
Honey
never.
wine?
I don't think I've ever had it.
Ever?
Oh, it's really
No.
good.
Oh, dude,
I
it's
don't
really
go to
good.
King
It's
Richard's
really
Fair.
good.
Well,
And also really strong.
Yeah, it's strong. It's
gonna say something
typically
else,
like very sweet.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
very
those
sweet.
bottles
berry
will blow
wine.
up if
You have to
don't
like
open
sweet
them.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So someday we'll
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 see.
break into one. The only reason why I haven't opened them is I'm like, that's a lot of mead for one person.
Let's crack it open. Let's get wild.
I'm good.
absolutely
I
nuts.
still
You
have
want to
to
get
respond.
nuts? We're gonna get nuts.
We're
Listen,
gonna get nuts.
I'm not getting that drunk here until I have a sofa to sleep on.
Fair enough.
Jinx,
You owe me a Coke.
Well,
Double jinx?
guys,
Millennial thing right there.
good evening, first of all. Welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. You've heard some behind-the-scenes stuff as we kick off here, which is fantastic. I love it. Before we get into tonight's episode, here's a little bit about where you can find us online. First place is our website, which is ahpod.com. That's ahhpod.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. To search for America's Hometown Horror, you'll find us. You can email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And most importantly, you can leave us a voicemail at 508-927-1267. That's 508-927-1267. And
I'm
of
going to
course-
derail your announcement. Do you get a lot of phone calls?
No.
No?
Not
All right.
really.
Okay. All right.
No, not really.
Because I heard
Uh,
that. And I'm like, oh, should I do that?
We're hoping for more.
should.
You
Okay.
should leave us a voicemail.
Oh, I'm gonna
but
now.
the most important thing you can do for us. There was a voicemail that you almost left one time, which I was going to kill you about, but we'll talk about that.
Oh,
Because if
Yeah,
people
that's
did
right.
leave voicemails, you would be a part of the podcast. We would
Absolutely.
play that on
Yeah.
the podcast.
yeah.
and
Like I really.
so I think people should do it.
I don't say that like to just fuck around. Like if you really want to, if you want to hear your voice in the show and you have a question for us, like let us know.
I'm gonna
us,
call him
let us
You
know.
can even just say like one of us. You can
Hey.
be like, "Cat sucks," and then we'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. We're fine with that."
Yeah,
So
you
it's
could say that. You could certainly
I'd be like,
say
why does
that.
Andrew call the number?
cool. Was that Andrew? Oh, I just snorted. It's embarrassing.
But of course, the most important thing you can do for our show is to give us a like, a subscribe, and a review, preferably a 5-star review if you think we do a 5-star job. It's the best thing you can do for our show to get us to grow, get out to more horror fans just like yourself, dear listener. And last but certainly not least, thanks as always to our friend Shano from Skywheel Media, who's now handling all of our audio and music production. And if you have a podcast that you're looking to take to the next level in terms of audio production, get in touch with us. We'll put you in touch with Shano at Skywheel Media. And of course, you've kind of heard everybody's voices here tonight. I'm joined by my usual gaggle of friends here, Andrew and Matt. Gentlemen, hello. What's
up?
happening? We're in a different environment here tonight, aren't we?
I
Yes.
feel a little outside my element.
Yes,
Surrounded by bottles of alcohol and
lots of bottles of alcohol.
dog bowls.
An actual,
That's true.
an actual
100 to be
podcast
precise.
studio to my right, behind Andrew.
In construction.
In construction. It's a don't short yourself. It's a podcast
like this.
studio. I have to introduce our co-host this evening on this journey. So joining us this evening is a very special guest. You may know him from podcasts such as this one. Also, Bar Talk, Old Colony Cast, and the Inebriart podcast. He's also the man behind the veil at Inebriart, wherever you attend one of their events, and founder of the Hometown Haunts and Hops Horror Convention. Also a friend of the show, friend of ours, and one hell of a model American. Welcome back to the show, my friend, our friend, Andy Driscoll.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Hello.
It's not like we've been sitting
That's
here
all
for,
we're gonna get after
Yeah,
that type of an
just-
introduction.
in my head, I'm like, I'm just gonna say the least.
Hey, how's it going?
It's not like we've been sitting
Hi.
here for
The
2 hours
movie's
doing
great.
podcasts and stuff. Good to have you on the show, man.
Thanks, man. It's been a long. Like we've been threatening to do this for a long time.
We have.
Usually half in the bag at the British Beer Company, where I'm like, you guys never have me on your show.
Well, I'm glad to finally have you on. I think
I had to build a studio so you would come to it.
exactly.
If you build it, we will come.
Yeah, I'm gonna tear it down tomorrow.
If you build it, Andrew will come in your studio.
I will always
He really likes
nice
the
carpet.
rug.
On your
Andrew's
nice
already
carpet.
rubbing his gross feet.
I
all
feel
over
like
your
P
nice
Diddy
rug.
and Get Him to the Greek when he's just rubbing the wall.
God.
Oh, you can't talk about P
Ew.
Diddy anymore.
I feel like you
That?
talk.
No, you don't remember that one?
Yeah,
No, of course I
the
remember
furry
that.
wall.
Yeah, the furry wall.
Stroke the furry wall.
But P Diddy's
course.
you can't talk about
Yeah.
him anymore.
Yeah, he's canceled.
Cancel.
That so if you listen to Bar Talk, everyone knows I worked at Home Depot, and one of my best friends I met working there, and we used to say just like goofy shit and outlandish shit, and they have like the big swinging arms with the rug displays, and we just hung one, and she's like rubbing up against it, and she's like, I can't remember who the fuck I'm talking to on the phone. And she's like, "Oh my god, I just want to take my clothes off and roll around on this." And the person on the phone's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Nothing."
You hear nothing.
You hear.
Deliverably tomorrow. Bye.
So, Andy, I'm excited to have you on the show because, to be honest, you have been our biggest supporter for the longest amount of time.
Yeah.
Because right when we first started, we talked about this on the episode that we may or may not have just recorded for Inebriart itself. But right when we first decided, me, Andrew, and Kat, to start this podcast, you sent us a message and said, "Hey, you guys are a Plymouth-based podcast. Let's get together. Let's talk." And the rest is kind of history. You immediately brought us onto the Inebriart Podcast Network, which we've always appreciated. It's awesome to be part of that network. And, it's just been great the entire time.
It's like the meeting of Milton and Bradley.
Yes, the game company.
Or Smith and Wesson.
Reese's and peanut
Or
butter cup.
Mars and Mars.
Bar.
Whatever. It's M&M. It's
Bar.
Mars and Misanthrope. I don't know what it is, but something.
I appreciate
DJ
it.
Jazzy
Surprise.
Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Sure.
There you go. Well, anyway, we're happy to have you on the show, Andy. Thanks so much
man.
for coming back, man.
Like it was one of those. There's been multiple people that are like, I'm starting a podcast. I'm like, well, let me know what I can do to help. And you guys were like, let's meet, and it just went from there.
Awesome. Well, I mean, for those of us, for those listening who may not be familiar with Inebriart, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Inebriart does? I know you do a lot.
Yeah.
If you could, I guess, describe it in a little bit. What does Inebriart do?
So,
Aside from host our
Could you
awesome
could you do it in a haiku for us?
Oh my god! Listen to
no, because I can't even remember. Like, I remember this like specific
575.
Thank you, but I'm also dyslexic, so that's super not.
I also don't know how many
757.
syllables are in a word. So
All I know is like that whole one and being like, haiku's a poem. They're really hard. Refrigerator, like,
Right.
it's something like
pretty
that.
good.
He's good.
Man, you're good.
I have the internet. So it's interesting because it took me a long time. People are like, oh, what do you do? Like, you start talking to someone, and so like you have to like get an elevator pitch. And so I'm like, okay, so Inebriart promotes and produces events and creates online content. And like, oh, what does that mean? And so then it just starts the whole conversation anyways. But back in 2011, there was a whole movement that came out of California called Drink and Draw, and it was started by artists who were like, do you remember when we used to draw for fun, and now we just do it for work? And they would meet once a week at a bar and draw on their sketchbooks. A buddy of mine was a bartender at Fridays in West Plymouth, and I was in there on a Thursday, and he's like, we should start Drink and Draw. And I'm like, when? He's like, I work Thursdays. I'm like, all right. And for 3.5 years, something like that, every Thursday, a bunch of us met, brought our sketchbooks, drew in our sketchbooks, didn't have a name. Sometimes we drank, sometimes we drew. Then the dude who came up with the name Inebriart was so drunk at the time that the next time he heard that name, he's like, that's a great name. And we're like, yeah, jackass, you came up with it.
It is a great name.
Yeah,
It is.
It's I
Certainly
love
is.
it because it sets a maybe not necessarily that it's required to drink, but it tells you, hey, this is a grown-up thing. Leave your fucking kids at home. And a lot of people are like, oh, you should do stuff for kids. And I'm like, if you take your kids to an Inebriart event, maybe like I should call Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
And so then it just kind of became, we would add stuff on, and people be like, hey, why don't you try this? Maybe you should do this. Before Second Wind opened, they're like, we want to do something for Art Week. I'm like, what do you want to do? And they're like, we don't know. I'm like, we can paint beer mugs. And now we paint beer mugs, wine glasses, margarita glasses, bongs, like a whole variety of things. And it came out of that one conversation. We started doing comedy shows because I got bored during COVID. And we started running them online, and then online became real life. And tomorrow night we're doing it on the Pilgrim Bell, the paddle boat in the harbor. So we're doing that tomorrow.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
This should be a lot of fun. They're like, hey, do you want to come in? We'll pay you to run a comedy show, and you can go on our boat ride. I'm like, I want to go on a boat.
A real one? A boat?
So it's spiraled out of control, and now we do all sorts of things. And now it's just like anytime I think of something like, hey, that would be fun. Let's do this. And, it's been 13, 14 years. 13
Wow.
years?
God
Yeah.
damn.
No shit.
So, and 4 years full time.
Wow,
Good for
man.
you, man.
Awesome.
So,
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on. I know you're a busy guy, and it's been great.
coming out. I'm here. This is my office.
I
You
know
came
this is
here.
exactly. Well, inside baseball. But, yeah, man, it's certainly been a long time coming having you on the show. And
Yeah.
we certainly appreciate.
No,
it.
I think I'm blown away that I didn't realize you guys have been 200 episodes and plus.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that's a credit to you guys for all the hard work you put in and your dedication, because it's not, there's so many people like, I'm going to start a podcast and talk with my friends. And, can we get My Pillow or Blue Apron? I don't think anyone wants My Pillow money. I don't think that guy's got any money. But Blue Apron to advertising, like, no, that's not, that's a
how it
hop
works.
like 1%.
Not going to make you a million.
Yeah.
for sure.
So I mean, you guys are Fangoria affiliated. Like, you guys have done a shit ton in a small amount of time.
We've done all right for ourselves, I will say. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't know. We just try to be us, and whatever opportunities come our way, we try and just roll with. And it's been a good experience so far in the first 4 years that we've been doing this. And we're hoping to do it for as long as
It's
we
wild
can.
to think that it's 4 years. It's fucking crazy.
Right?
I think we're at 7.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, because like if you like, it's like you have like AD and AC, like after Christ and all that. Now you have like after COVID,
Post-COVID.
before
Oh my
COVID.
God! So many.
It's like a
The thing that fucks me up is people are like, "Oh, how long have you been doing insert one of our activities?" And I'd be like, "I don't know how to count COVID." Because like I took most of that year off, not intentionally, but like, do I count that year? Do I not count that year?
it was like a reset year
Yeah,
for everybody.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. So
Nice. So, Andy, obviously one of the biggest things that you and I have been working on together for the last couple of years is the Hometown Haunts and Hops Horror Convention, which I guess all of us have been working on to a certain extent, including Kat, who's not here tonight. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can come to expect from Haunts and Hops this year? Because I know there's big things to expect.
kind of just copy and paste what you said on my podcast.
I mean, if you want to. Yeah.
Literally,
I mean, we are
actually,
doing cross promotion here.
No,
I'm
it's,
sorry,
I
to
just-
bring up the same
Yeah.
things, but obviously,
But,
we're
I'm leaving. I'm bored.
I know. So the Hometown Haunts and Hops is September 21st at Mayflower Brewery from 1 to 7. VIPs get in at noon. And it is a very small... what's the word I'm looking for? Or it's not small. It's...
independent.
yeah, I'll think of the word.
Local.
Nope.
Awesome.
Yes, it's awesome.
Awesome.
But horror convention for everyone who loves all things horror. We have authors and podcasts and movie creators and artists and all sorts of things. Anything creepy, and it's a Comic-Con for the macabre. And we're gonna have the Ghostbusters car, not the Ghostbusters car, a Ghostbusters car. We're gonna have a Raccoon City police cruiser. We're gonna have a dunk tank. It looks like
A dunk tank. That's news to me.
Yeah.
That's,
Dude, there's always surprises.
that's,
That is just you because
yeah.
you're going to be in it.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't tell you.
Relatively new.
Yep.
Yep.
We're gonna have tattoo contests, costume contests, horror trivia, retro horror video games. We're gonna have Tim Curry screen worn Pennywise costume, live podcasts, authors, a exclusive beer maybe ?
Sounds like it. Yep.
We're gonna have show exclusives like an action figure, hot sauce exclusive from Satanic Hot Sauce. Shout out Jordan. We are going to have there's so much stuff that's still kind of in the works that I want to say that I
know.
can't.
I know.
But
Lots of panels, lots of live
lots of
podcasts.
panels.
Yep.
We're going to have a horror writers author panel. I don't know if I told you that. I think I told you I was working on that, but I have some commitments from
We did.
authors.
Yep. That was submitted to the website that I wrote that.
Okay,
for.
all right, for
Yep,
the
that
thing
was,
and the guy
Yeah,
in
the
the
thing with
place.
the guy in the place. Yep.
And we are going to have our big marquee guest is John Kassier.
Kassier. Kassier. Yep.
I'm from Massachusetts. I can say things wrong if
okay.
I want to. He of Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypt fame. It is the 35th anniversary of Tales from the Crypt. He'll be there with a panel, signing autographs, shaking babies, kissing hands, that kind of thing. And we'll be there. We're like celebrities.
Kind of. Yeah.
I think I'm a
got
celebrity.
I got pulled out of the crowd last year by someone, and they're like, "Hey, you're from that podcast," which was fucking
I remember you saying that.
bonkers. We're gonna have 2 food trucks this year, so we don't run out of food.
Yeah.
There's
Huge
gonna
thing.
be
Food. Plenty of food.
Plenty of food.
Plenty
There's
of beer.
going to be an after party at New World Tavern the night before. We're going to have horror movies shown at the John Carver Inn, WNUF Halloween special.
Yep.
And we're going to have Pennywise, the story of it, at Sour Not Sorry. The directors will be there. I'm terrible with names. Help me out.
John Campopiano, who is the director and writer of Pennywise: The Story of It, will be there, and Chris LaMartina will be there. He is the director of WNUF Halloween Special, along with Aurora Borealis, his wife, who is the macabre mistress of all things. I believe in the Shocktail Hour, as I believe the show that she hosts.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
And I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I think you covered it.
I feel like it did everything.
Yeah.
Tickets are $25. You can get them online.
Yep.
Go to inebriart.com.
So, yeah, Film Festival, Haunts and Hops on Saturday. Film Festival on Friday, Haunts and Hops on Saturday. The only thing you forgot to mention was the trivia by America's Hometown Horror on the Thursday before it.
We're going to make it
Never heard of it.
real hard.
Never heard of him.
We're gonna make it nuts in there. We're gonna go absolutely insane. Yeah, so obviously, Andy, very knowledgeable in the horror genre. Very excited to have him on this show because it's been really fun to plan Haunts and Hops with him the last couple of years, and been a great friend and a great resource for us. So it's awesome to have him here. I know Matt and I.
Fantastic
and Andrew are very
guy,
excited.
great
Fantastic
guy. Love this
Good guy,
Fantastic.
local
Good
guy.
guy, local guy.
Yeah.
Great guy, great guy.
Oh, I just came up with because we have. I'm very excited. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if Mike filled you in, but we've been talking like, oh, we want T-shirts. And it's super expensive to do.
I didn't tell him this yet. No,
Okay,
go ahead. Yep.
so it's super expensive to do because like you're like, okay, how many smalls do we get? How many extra large? Do we get 4XL? Like, do we want sweatshirts? So my youngest Zoe got a grown-up job working for a company out of Taunton, Mass called the Craftapreneur. So you guys can check them out. They're going to be there on site with the logo, with some variations on the logo. We should get the America's Hometown Horror logo as well.
Yep.
And you're going to be able to kind of like mix and match and assemble the shirt, and they'll make it there for you on site.
Is it possible to give them a design idea for a shirt beforehand? I had one like X-Men 2.
No.
One idea.
Go to their store in Taunton, and then you can do that.
One thing I would say would be cool is like what Jordan does with the Speedwell, like the Hops and Hots shirts.
Yeah.
Is he does the design on the front, and then he does the Mayflower design on the back,
Yeah.
along with the Plymouth Fire Department.
Well, but here's the thing: is like, so if you like it
customized.
that way, then you can do it that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be cool if we could do.
But-
So we can do that.
Yeah.
We throw, like,
I can get the
signs
Plymouth
logo
Fire
on
Department.
it.
Well, no, but what
Well,
I'm
we
saying,
could get Mayflower and the.
More on that in a second, Andrew. Go ahead, Andy.
so what I'm saying is like, if you wanted the shirt laid out that way,
Yeah.
your shirt could be laid out that way. If I wanted the
Wow.
Hometown Haunts and Hops logo on the back with a small like pocket, like you have the pocket logo on your shirt there, then I can have that done, and they do it right there.
Wow, that's
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, we should get some shirts done for like staff, and I'm like, okay, so we'll get this done in advance, blah blah blah. And
Do we get lanyards again?
Yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
That made me feel official.
Okay, well, make sure you get
we got
lanyards.
those last year.
Yeah,
too.
those are
those
easy.
made me feel very official.
Really, those are easy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I was like, okay, so on the back, what do I want to put on the back of the shirt? Because like normally, it'll say staff, and I'm like, that's so lame. So here's what I just came up with: the fucking America's Hometown Horror logo on the front, and on the back says "Good Ghoul, Local Ghoul."
I love it.
I like
I thought
that.
I was just going to say Shaft on the back instead, but it's cool. Sorry.
What was the shirt we had before? A Shart in the Dark.
A shart in the dark for sharts and gargles.
Yeah,
But-
Sharts and
Sharts and
Gargles. Is that
But
what
this
it
is the
was?
cool thing about this company is
Yeah.
you can literally roll into their store and be like, I need a shirt.
And
I
they'll
need
make
s-
one. Like, you go in. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going for all my birthday presents.
Yeah,
And,
and
Christmas gifts.
if it's something that you need designed, like my kid will do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sick.
So-
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And I've
So,
seen her
the Craft-
artwork live, and it's very good.
yeah, the Craftapreneur in Taunton.
It's a cool
Cool.
name,
Yeah.
too. I like that.
That's right near my work, probably.
Probably it's right. Where the Walmart is over there,
No.
kind of like the Raynham. It's like on the fucking main
Could
drag.
find
there.
it.
I was right
It's
over
on
there
44.
the other day.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
I know exactly
There's
where
like
Speaking
a
of Taunton, you guys hear about the
Oh
mayor?
yeah, that's out of Taunton. The what?
there's a mayor of
The
Taunton?
mayor of Taunton.
It's a city.
I don't know.
She got arrested for, like, assault and battery. She attacked her husband with a crowbar.
Oh,
my God!
Holy
Yep,
shit.
that is right.
Okay.
Can't do that.
All right.
Damn.
I don't think that's okay.
No,
not
definitely.
allowed.
Yeah, they frown upon that.
All right.
Not allowed.
Well, certainly seems like there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening at Haunts and Hops this year. For sure.
No crowbar
talking
attacks.
about
Anywho,
No crowbars. No crowbars. But the good news is, if you're listening to this and you want to be a part of Haunts and Hops this year, there's still plenty of time to get on board. If you want to be a vendor, if you want to talk to us about some other stuff, you can get in touch with us directly here or with Andy at Inebriart. And,
Yep. Email
let us know.
inebriart@yahoo.com. That's INEBRIART.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I'm very excited to hear, Andy, so we can give a little bit of a preview, like you said, about Haunts and Hops this year. But I would be remiss if I did not talk about the movie that you picked for this evening, because as one is to do, you come on the show, you pick a movie, we talk about it. So we're going to talk about this.
Can I give a
movie
little
tonight.
backstory of how this all came to be?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Briefly, because I was going to take a break, and then we can talk about that if you want. If we're going to talk, are you going to go
I
right
mean, you
into the
do your
movie,
break
or-
wherever you want.
Okay.
I mean,
Why
it's
don't
your
we
show.
take a quick break here? What are we at for time right now?
26 minutes.
Okay. Perfect time to take a break. Why don't we pause for a quick break from our sponsors? We'll be right back to talk to you about tonight's movie with Andy from Inebriart. All right, we're back. Sorry, I have to give Shauno that break. But anyway, you were saying, my friend.
Okay, so we've been saying forever, like, I want to come on your show, blah, blah. And then a couple weeks ago, I was interviewing someone on the Inebriart podcast, and I'm terrible with names, so I apologize because I'm not going to remember her name. But she's kind of like a pop singer, and like I was looking at her video. Sorry, I was looking at her video, and it started with a Mary Shelley quote and had kind of a horror vibe to it. And so as soon as she got on the show, I'm like, are you like a horror fan? And she's like, I am. And we spent like 20 minutes talking about horror movies. And she recommended that I watch Rubber, which is a horror movie about like a possessed tire that kills people. I saw the trailer. I'm like, this looks great. And I showed it to Mike, and I'm like, where is it streaming? And it was streaming on a bunch of weird things that I didn't have. So then I'm like, well, what's streaming on Prime? Because Prime usually has some weird shit. And I looked up an article, be like, what's showing on Prime that's good? And it's like, hey, there's a vampire movie called Eat Local. And I'm like, oh, vampire is like in the suburbs or something, eating people. This sounds like fun. And it made reference to it being kind of along horror comedy, Shaun of the Dead kind of thing. And it was either on Amazon Prime or IMDb, where it had like 4 out of 5 stars, and it has Charlie Cox in it. It has someone from Doctor Who in it.
Definitely
it has
some reputable actors.
It has
in
someone
this
from
movie,
Pirates of
for
the
sure.
Caribbean in it. It has someone from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And I'm like, oh, perfect. So, Matt, what did you think of the movie?
I was going to say.
I was going to
So-
say, when you picked Rubber, I was immediately like, oh, and then I looked at the synopsis and I was like, this movie looks like it fucking rocks. And then you changed stuff and I was like, boo. And then I was like, oh, well, you can't watch it anywhere.
Yeah,
Like, that's
that was
It's,
Yeah.
on, it's on Tubi.
Rubber is?
Oh, Rubber? No,
Oh, I was
no.
gonna say-
Eat Locals.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Eat Local.
I don't
Is.
care
Eat,
about
eat
that
local,
trash movie.
multiple
No.
places. But so I guess before we even get into this movie, Andy, I mean, you've told me on multiple occasions you actually really appreciate and gravitate towards like bad, corny, cheesy horror, right?
Sentient
good
tire that
preface.
kills people?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
in.
It's like Killer Sofa. I see. I still haven't seen that.
So
but
why
Killer Bong.
and why'd you
or
pick
Evil
this
Bong.
movie?
Why do I gravitate towards that?
Yeah,
Kind of?
what makes you appreciate that as opposed to like other like classic?
So
horror,
I
right?
have really been deep diving. This is a very fun experiment when you get to my age, because I'm significantly older than all of you. But I've been looking back at like, why is Andy Andy? And like the things that I grew up on, and kind of been like, oh yeah, I was really into Mr. Wizard as a kid, and I was watching Mr. Wizard here in the office the other day and be like, oh my god, I remember this. And I think it comes from their, like, the first, we were talking about it on my show, Inebriart Podcast. You can find it wherever you find podcasts.
Ooh, shout out.
But that kind of, like, intro to horror for kids. And there's a movie with Tim Conway and Don Knotts called Private Eyes. And they're these idiot investigators they've been called out to this wealthy mansion where the lord of the mansion's been killed, and all the staff is suspect, and they're trying to like piece it together. And it's stupid and it's silly and it's a little creepy and does not hold up at all.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I used to watch
The
that as a kid.
Wookalar? Yeah.
The Don Knotts, like
Yeah.
that horror.
Yeah.
Because we've talked before about like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein and
Yeah.
like stuff
Oh
like that.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I love
and
Alan
it's
Costello
it,
being
and Tim
Frankenstein.
Conway's a fucking comedic genius, so it skirts that line of comedy and horror at a kid's level, and I think that's where my love of horror and bad horror and comedy started. And that's it. It doesn't hold up.
What's
Like,
your favorite horror movie of all time? I'm going to ask you two questions. What your favorite is and what's the scariest movie you've ever seen? I love
Okay.
asking people these questions.
So favorite's tough because there's like a lot of variations. I'm very particular. Like I love apocalyptic movies.
Okay.
So I love 28 Days Later.
Great one.
Great.
They don't
I could-
explain why they're zombies. I mean, they do, but not really. And they're not really zombies. It's very
They're rage,
realistic.
yeah.
Love Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Yep.
It's that funny, but works into a really good horror movie.
So you're a zombie guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's more a coincidence, but like Shaun of the Dead hits me in that borderline between comedy and serious movie that I live. Like I'm a really serious person, but I'll take myself seriously, if that makes any sense. So that's really like that strikes a chord with me. 28 Days Later is just like
The opposite of that.
it's
Yeah.
so dark and it's
Yeah,
fucking
bleak
great.
as hell.
Yeah, and it's post-apocalyptic, and I love that. If you're talking about movies, like I don't find shit. Oh no, it's not a movie. Black Mirror scares the shit
yeah.
Yeah,
out of me.
that's fair.
Because it's so real.
Before you get off
Yeah.
28 Days Later, that's one of those movies that we covered like very early on in the show.
Yeah,
Like within the first month that we did it, when we had terrible audio quality, and I cringed thinking about going back and listening to it. I would love to like redo that episode.
You could
do a
it's-
rehash.
Yeah, I
it's
could do
so
that.
good.
Yeah.
I love that movie
It's
so
one
much.
of my favorites of all time.
And
I
it's-
think it's the
Redo all our
scariest.
early
I think it's the
episodes.
scariest zombie movie of all time. No offense to George Romero and Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the
It's
Dead.
definitely
It was my
Different
it was my
areas.
introduction to fast zombies,
Yes.
Yep.
and you're like, it's so much scarier than slow shambling zombies.
Oh yeah.
Slow shambling zombies are more like gives you that I can never stop because they'll never stop. Fast zombies are like
I gotta move.
yeah.
But so you don't have like a movie that you could think of that you're like, this movie frightened me.
Well,
to my
Black
core.
Mirror, like Black Mirror,
Okay.
and the other thing that the movie that scared me the most as a kid, and this was part of me like reliving my life.
Don Knotts.
No, it was a made-for-TV movie, and it's on YouTube because I started watching it again. It's got it's got some big names in it. Not John Cleese, John Lithgow's in it. Steve Guttenberg's in it.
I'm so intrigued now. What is this?
It is called. I think it's just called The Day After, and I was 9 or 10 when this aired on TV, which in retrospect, I'm like, my parents were out of their fucking minds. And there's been a nuclear war. And
Oh,
like,
yeah, no, I
nuclear
know exactly what you're
fallout,
talking about. Yep.
And it
I thought you were going
scared.
to say Threads for a second.
No,
it
but this
scared
is
the
it's a lot
shit
like
out of
Threads.
me
Not
as a little
not
kid.
as
That was
bad.
a big thing in the 80s. They were like, there's nuclear wars coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yes.
horror reflects reality. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like
And it wasn't a hard.
Cold
It
War,
was
brother.
more like this is what would really happen. And the thing that I remember specifically is when the bombs went off, that the power went out, and I was
Is there any time the power went out?
no, I was so scared as a kid that I would be showering, staring at the light, being like, "Don't go out, don't go out, don't go out."
Yeah.
Like it scared me.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, no. Have you ever seen Threads?
No.
Threads is The Day After on fucking meth.
All right.
It's
Is it
that's
streaming?
a
I'll have to watch that.
it is.
Do you
It's on,
have,
it's
like,
on
Shudder?
Shudder.
Isn't that like
Shudder?
the British version, essentially? The BBC.
That movie
It's
is one of
horrifying.
the most brutal movies of all time,
Yeah, it's horrifying.
and it's crazy that it was a TV movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
it is fucked.
Sit down with the family and watch this tonight.
dude.
That's
But
what
between-
happened with The Day After.
Between Threads and like a movie like Ghost Watch, both those were made for TV on BBC.
Yeah.
Like they have a different understanding.
Yeah, they
of
don't-
what
they
can
don't
be
give a
on TV than
fuck,
what
That's
they-
a different
they-
day and
they
age,
don't
too.
give a
That's when
shit.
people didn't
Yeah.
care about your feelings or anything.
Well,
No,
considering the
the-
BBC created the video nasties, they very much do give a fuck, dude.
which is weird. Well, that's yeah.
But there's also like different rules over there. Like once it gets beyond a certain time of night, you're kind of on your fucking own.
Free
Yeah.
reign.
6 p.m.
It's not like
very
there's any like explicit like. Well, that's not true, but there's no nudity or anything. But like
No.
there's
there's still like there's elements of like sexual violence and
Yeah,
Stuff
and
like
like the swearing is like they're cool with some swears on.
well,
it,
they
you
call
know?
everyone a cunt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's like calling somebody a fucking
That's the British thing to do.
dipshit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Call
Yeah.
him an idiot. Yeah. So
But yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
That's
And
a
the
cool
other
thing.
thing that, and this is a little more behind the scenes of Andy, is I grew up on Unsolved Mysteries
oh, me too,
Awesome.
man.
and Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah, I watched that a lot.
Such a good,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah, like that's why I love the macabre and the weird and
Same.
history and like all that stuff. Just love it.
There's a guy I follow on TikTok that has done really great videos about like falling asleep in the 90s to Unsolved Mysteries. They're absolutely hysterical, but I can also empathize with his position because it's like when I watched that show in the 90s, it scared the absolute shit out of me. Like the only shows like in the 90s that scared me like that were Unsolved Mysteries and the X-Files.
But then you wake up
Okay.
at 3 a.m. and the Girls Gone Wild commercials on.
Yes, and then it was time to hammer,
little later.
time to welcome
Oh yeah,
to die.
you'd wake up in the middle. You'd wake up. It'd be like 9:30, and you'd walk downstairs to get a drink of water or something. You'd hear the Unsolved Mysteries theme, and you'd be like, "Ah!" You'd just be
Yeah.
Yeah.
terrified.
Yeah.
But
Your
see, I
parents
was
are like, "What are you doing up? Get
See,
up."
I was like older though, so that was the
Yeah.
thing. So like, you're wearing a Creature Double Feature shirt. Like I grew up on Creature Double Feature
Oh,
every Saturday.
That's so
it came on.
fucking.
Yeah.
That's what a lost fucking art that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. This was like, I feel like on my shirt, like a Creature Double Feature, that's like akin to like Joe Bob Briggs, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Monster Vision. That
He's
type of
holding on with
Mm-hmm.
dear life, and he's doing a good job, man. Because those
really is.
those are a lot of fun. And he's
And,
funny as hell too.
Thank Christ for Shudder. Like, really
Yeah.
just keeping this shit alive. It really is. I mean, there's obviously an appetite for it
Mm-hmm.
because people are watching it, but it's just like one of those things where.
It's growing too.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot more. There's a younger generation that's coming into it too.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Have you been keeping up with the new Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix? Have you watched it?
I watched some of it. It's just not the same.
It's
No,
yeah,
that's
exactly
without
what
the
Tony
host,
said.
it's
Yeah.
it's different, right? I mean, I still can appreciate it because I really like true crime stuff
See,
and paranormal stuff for what it is.
It's
but, like,
weird. True crime stuff doesn't really do. It was something specifically about that show,
Mm-hmm.
and
It was
I'm-
the if you've seen this person, call your local police at the end.
And
Like,
like-
oh God, they're there.
I
That's
mean,
real.
like they caught a lot of fucking people.
I can
doing
tell you
that
what it
show.
was.
Yeah.
For me, it was the reenacting of the stuff.
Yeah.
By
I
actors.
actually so in my high school there was a dude. His name was Bobby. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull his last name, but he was like the big actor in school, and like, oh, he's a professional actor. He was in Mermaids with Cher, and like, I mean, technically he was, but he also was like, was one of the reenactor actors on Unsolved Mysteries, and to me, I'm like, that's way fucking cooler.
That is
Like,
way
that's way
cooler.
cooler.
Yeah. Fuck Cher.
Yeah.
You ever see the thing where so after
Fair.
the first season of True Detective came out, there was a thing
Larkin,
that-
Bobby Larkin. Sorry,
Bobby Larkin.
I don't know why.
Barry Larkin.
Bobby, no,
Barry.
Bobby Larkin.
Not the baseball shortstop. He used to do all kinds of. That was Ozzy. Ozzy
Smith, yeah.
He used to do
Osbourne.
acrobatics. So
Dead.
apparently, after the first season of True Detective came out, Matthew McConaughey. It came out was in one of the seasons of Unsolved Mysteries, doing an exact same like type of
Oh,
thing.
really?
As a like
Yeah.
related to what?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like very similar
Have
story.
you seen
Yeah.
that episode?
I have.
Is it
Yeah,
good?
It's very similar. It's very strange. Very weird. How
Ah.
similar it is to the plot of True Detective, and it's like about like child murder and like all that kind of stuff. It's very
Parallel
strange.
universe.
Andy, I think you would appreciate Radio Rental.
Oh yeah, he would.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mike, you want to? All right. So
Nope,
he.
I will. Yep.
Okay.
I was gonna say. So it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite podcast right now. So it seems like you certainly appreciate like the unsolved mysteries type of stuff, right? So Radio Rental presents 2 different stories each week, and they do it in seasons. So in the weeks between where it's not coming out, I get very angry because the stories are so good. But essentially what they do is Rainn Wilson from The Office.
yeah, sure. Who was
is
in
the-
Plymouth like a
is-
week ago?
Oh, was he really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
shit.
that.
They were shooting a movie downtown.
Oh, he was
Oh,
in it too.
Yeah, yeah.
With Amy
Oh.
Adams?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I didn't know that. Cool.
So he hosts this podcast as a fake, like almost like crypt keeper kind of person.
Okay.
Terry Carnation is the character's name, but he essentially is the owner of this video store. And you come in, you listen to tapes that he puts in between his banter,
Yeah.
every episode. And the stories are all paranormal and weird. So like it's not just ghost stories, which I appreciate. It's very weird stuff.
Yeah, like escaped murders, kidnapping.
Yeah,
Okay.
like glitch in the Matrix type
Yeah.
stuff. So
Okay.
it's very, very strange. Like you get a lot of variety in the stories. It's
Yeah.
not just all ghost stuff, which I like. This, cryptid stuff, paranormal stuff. Like Matt said, I just escaped a serial killer type stuff. It's really good. So
Some of them are
horrifying.
fucking bone chillingly fucking scary. Too.
Okay.
And like I'm not one to really like get shook by just hearing a story.
Yeah.
But there's some that I've listened to that just thinking of sends like a shiver up my spine.
Okay.
They are fucking terrifying.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was one of those shows where like when I found out about it, I listened to every episode. And there's only about 50 of them now.
Yeah.
I listened to every episode like
Yeah, I'm caught up
right
on all
away.
of them too.
Yeah, so I'm like on bated breath waiting for the next episode. So it's a great show, very good stuff. So anyway, you want to talk about Eat Locals?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I guess.
This was Andy's pick, my friend. So Eat Locals.
Sorry.
By the way,
At
like
least
how you're
I'm a lot
apologizing.
I'm glad that you. Yeah, I'm glad that you feel the
So
way you
I don't feel this way. I think Matt and Andrew are both happy that you apologized for this. But
But-
anyway,
Can I just say,
yes.
when you look at it, Vampire, Eat Local, Charlie Cox,
Mm-hmm.
the cast,
Oh, it,
seems like it's going to be good.
well, also the director Fleming.
Yeah,
like he was
Jason
in
Fleming.
like,
with a Y.
yeah.
with a Y. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Jay Song.
So Eat Locals.
You understand why I picked it.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay,
I thought
Well,
maybe
where
for
your
some reason
where
when you
Rubber
picked it,
was
I
your
like-
first pick,
I, was
I
like,
thought
did
you
he-
were pranking us.
I thought I was. Did he pick this because he really likes this movie, or is he just picking this movie?
Yeah, more of that.
I knowing you, I figured you were like, I'm gonna pick something that's gonna be so.
No, see,
Well, where you wanted to pick Rubber.
I would. Rubber to me
looks
sounds
great.
amazing.
Rubber's crazy.
I would have. I would have watched the shit out of
I
Rubber.
want
To
to
be
watch
honest
Rubber
with you.
now.
That's
Yeah.
Sharknado
Yeah,
level.
No, because I feel like Sharknado is
I think it's Killer Sofa
yes,
or maybe Slaughterhouse.
Killer
Evil
Sofa.
Bong
Ginger Dead Man, that kind of shit. Yeah.
with Gary
Okay.
Busey.
Yes.
Well, Eat Locals, in case you haven't heard, is a 2017 vampire film directed by Jason Fleming in his directorial debut. Jason Fleming, by the way,
With a Y.
yep, with a Y, pretty well-known English actor. You may recognize him from such films as Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, Layer Cake, X-Men First Class, From Hell, and arguably, at the time this episode comes out, the movie of the summer, Deadpool and Wolverine, which he is reprising his role from
Also forgetting
X-Men
League
First
of
Class.
Extraordinary Gentlemen.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
With Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sean Connery and
The game is set.
Shane West.
Today is out. Yeah,
Yep.
something. He just says a bunch of dumb shit.
Honestly,
about
like
Suck it, Trebek.
suck.
while we're on that, before we continue, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, a comic story written by Alan Moore.
Yep.
Incredible concept, and like, how do you fuck that up? All of these literary characters combining to fight this big time thing, and there's all these awesome characters.
Well,
Like,
Alan Moore.
Captain Ahab.
Well, Alan Moore
Dorian
didn't.
Gray.
No, it was great. The movie wasn't
Man.
great. The concept was great, but Alan Moore didn't want his name attached to it.
Alan Moore doesn't want his name attached to much of anything.
I saw this
Yeah.
movie in theaters. when
I
it
did
came
too.
out.
And
Oh, really?
my understanding is Sean Connery like locked himself in the
Yeah.
editing bay and was like, "I'll edit this
I remember
movie."
when that came out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A little baby.
So, I mean, like, yeah, that's just a weird thing, right? So there's... What? What are you looking at me like that for?
There's nothing. I'm not saying anything.
Sorry that I'm pouring bourbon into a tiki cup here. Don't mind me.
I don't have real.
Rocks glasses.
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah,
closest one.
That's
you,
okay.
you did get the closest one.
Fair enough.
I'm good. You
So-
don't have to-
From Hell, by the way, completely underrated movie.
Very
One of the
good movie.
best.
I actually like that movie a lot.
From Hell, that's the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah.
What about
Johnny
Jack
Depp
the
one.
Ripper?
I
Christina
and Heather
Ricci-
Graham.
no. Oh, Heather Graham.
That
that's
movie rocks.
I
Yeah.
love Jack the Ripper stuff. So that movie was. That's also an Alan Moore thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
So the thing about
Because I know you're a comic guy. Did you-
yes,
Yeah.
I was not an Alan Moore fan.
Okay.
I mean, I don't dislike him, but this. So here's my impression of this movie, Eat Local.
Okay.
It had so many fucking cool concept and ideas that it like brushed by and never touched on, and ended up being like a not awesome action movie.
Agreed.
So there was like this whole clear hierarchy of vampires that they never flushed out, that never explained, but you're like, that would have been cool. And then there's this military force that they vaguely imply that maybe it's like the Swiss Guard. They never say who they are.
I don't know who the
No.
fuck they were. Either.
They never say.
Yeah.
But they implied that it might have been like a church thing. So I'm like, is it the Swiss Guard? Like fucking Vatican military hunting down vampires?
Maybe.
I'd be in for that. But they didn't deliver. Then like the house has like a serial killer. And you're like, ooh, vampires and serial killers getting along in like a business respect kind of way. I'd be down for that. That never really like panned out.
No.
And then at the end, there's this weird fucking a cosmetic commercial where I'm like, a cosmetic company using like all these ideas are cool in and of themselves, and they never flush any of them out. Instead, they're like,
You
I
beat,
got
you beat me to it.
yeah.
I was gonna say so real quick. Here's the plot description for this movie before we tee off on this. In a quiet countryside farmhouse, Britain's vampires gather for their once every 50 years meeting. Others will be joining them too. Sebastian Crockett, an unwitting Essex boy who thinks he's on a promise with sexy cougar Vanessa.
she's all right.
A detachment of special forces vampire killers who have bitten off more than they can chew. This is certainly going to be a night to remember, and for some, it will be their last. Stars Charlie Cox, Mackenzie Crook, Eve Miles, Tony Curran, Dexter Fletcher, Freema Eggman, Vincent Regan, and Robert Portal.
All household names.
Yep, all household names.
Over
some
there.
of these actors
I mean,
you
some of them
certainly
over there.
recognize.
Are they? Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of actors here that you would recognize.
One of
if
them
you
was a
watch them.
Doctor Who companion.
I was
I
going to
never
say,
watched
yeah.
Doctor Who.
I feel like you're a Doctor Who guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a lot of actors in this movie that have been in Doctor Who. You noticed that, obviously, right?
There's a lot of those characters kind of like crisscross from different movies. With like Charlie Cox has been in a lot of different things. The serial killer was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yep.
He was in.
Pirates, I think.
Oh, that was the kind of the
that's
guy
the
that
other
ran.
guy.
So the guy that plays like the priest,
Yeah.
he's
He was
one
in
of the
Pirates
guys,
of the
one of the main
Caribbean.
guys in like Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean. Yeah.
Because
Like-
he looked very familiar. I've
Yeah.
seen him in a
Yep.
bunch.
I had to
He has
like
a glass eye
yeah.
in
Yeah,
Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had to go through like IMDb and be like, where the fuck do I know that guy?
Jason Statham, by the way, is the stunt coordinator on this film, which you can
Shut
see.
the fuck up, really?
Swear to God.
Okay,
Yep,
all
swear
right.
to God.
Which makes me wonder how
There's
the movie could
one
still be
scene
so bad.
Yeah.
Where you can see it. There's one scene.
Is it the scene with the Asian dude in the
Yep.
barn? Yeah.
Yep. That's
the only like action scene.
had an estimated budget of $1.5 million and grossed $16,503
Whoa.
worldwide.
I wonder why.
Correct. I said thousand. $16,503 worldwide.
Wow.
I mean, I did say the other night, no hyperbole. That is one of the worst movies I've ever watched. I mean, it was terrible.
Oh my
It was, but this is the thing. like I love bad movies. It wasn't bad enough to be silly.
No, see that's
No,
Yeah.
I
it
love
took
bad
itself
movies.
very.
It took itself
And it
way
even
too
was.
seriously.
It was
be
trying to
that
be a
bad.
comedy
Yeah,
too.
and there's a
Yeah.
couple of spots that are pretty funny, and then there's some that are just like,
Well, the comedy is like the guy
fucking
falls
dumb.
off a chair, a guy stands up and he's got a bucket on his head, and
Yeah.
he's like, boop, boop, like pulls it. It's just like, I was like, Jesus. It's very
the opening
British
credits-
comedy.
the
Yeah,
opening credits, I was like, oh, this is bad. I already knew it was bad. The acting was atrocious, and they had good name actors. In
Yeah.
there.
there's two things about this movie that were redeemable for me, and it was the opening sequence where they're kind of grilling the guy about overfeeding,
Yep.
and that he was killing children.
and
And I'm
it's-
like,
to-
okay, like
Nothing
this
with
is
that,
interesting.
nothing.
but like that means nothing.
Right. It, well,
That's the thing, is
ultimately, it
Yeah.
didn't.
Every
But
time
I
they
was like,
introduce
no,
something-
it
yeah.
got
No
me in.
relevance to the plot.
It got me into. It gets to the beginning of the movie. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like, let's see where this goes. And the other thing was that at one point, the girl that Sebastian is coming in with, when they got her all staked up,
Yeah.
her makeup effects are a lot like the movie Demons from the 80s.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's Mario Bava.
No.
This is where Matt flexes his
Yeah.
horror knowledge. Right?
We
It's an
get it.
Italian
It's
horror
super
movie. It's
cool.
very- it's
oh,
very
there
fun.
we go. All right,
Demons
yeah.
once a month.
Matt loves Italian horror.
It's very
Loves
good.
it.
It's fun. If you like this,
Yeah.
you'll love Demons.
But
So
I didn't like this.
all right, then you'll like Demons.
All right.
But the makeup effects with their teeth and everything,
Yeah.
it was very similar. I'm like, okay, they might have borrowed that from that, but that other than that, dude, I was like, this is a
But
this is a rough
I was
one.
kind of surprised at the $1.5 million budget, to be honest with you, because the special effects were terrible.
Yeah,
I
they're
thought
not
the
good.
budget was like $7.
Dude.
Anytime you show somebody shooting an automatic rifle and they're just going,
Yeah, that was with the
and there's
grandmother.
there's
at the,
nothing coming out of the
yeah.
rifle, and there's no kickback at all. Like it's like okay, that's
And for someone that
fake.
was in,
Lock, stock, and two smoking
Yeah,
barrels.
like-
Yeah,
couldn't you have tried a little bit better? And I feel like they had enough money. They just spent it in the wrong places. Like maybe you didn't need to hire Jason Statham to coordinate the
the
mediocre
one fight scene. Yeah, the one fight scene. That one fight scene was good. I'll give it that.
But
was
it also
good.
had the bad special effects in it too.
I know.
So it's like
So
I don't know.
But like,
It
so
seemed-
they had the big reveal scene where like Sebastian, is it
Sebastian.
like bumps into the refrigerator and it opens up and it's full of like heads and jars and body parts, and that's when you find out that the farm owner was a serial killer, and it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, wasn't he
Yeah.
basically not? He wasn't a serial killer. He was like Renfield for those vampires. Wasn't he just
No.
collecting?
that's how I took it. I took
Oh,
it as
no,
he-
no,
like,
no.
He was like
So no, no.
a,
He
fam- a
was,
familia.
no, he was a serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah, but for them,
I don't know.
he lived on the farm.
It's unclear.
It was his farm.
Well, yeah, but they let him live to harvest.
It's not their farm because
no, I know, but they let him still because it's not their farm. But they could have just killed him if they wanted.
Right.
To. Instead, they were like, "You get us."
Okay,
buddy."
so
that's what I got.
all right, so the impression I got was that he was a serial killer because at one point someone says something to Charlie Cox about like, you know, did you know this guy's a serial killer? And he's like, yeah, we pick our locations carefully, and like literally gives a
Oh, see,
wink,
I missed
being
that.
like,
Oh, okay.
if
I
we
missed that.
kidnap you and put you in the basement
They
and you're a
won't know.
serial killer, you're not gonna go to the cops. And that's why at the end he like goes ballistic and murders a guy and be like, get off my farm.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's something terrible in the woods. It's me.
Yeah. But I'll also tell you, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, and it drove me fucking insane. So they had the big reveal of like body parts in the fridge. And then almost weirdly positioned after that was like a deep freezer with a lock on it. And I'm like, that's a weird thing to show immediately after. Chekhov's gun, that's going to mean something, that's going to be important. And then like the military starts shooting into the building, and you see the lock shot off of the deep freeze, and I'm like, oh, here we go. There's gonna be some crazy shit. No, it like
Cheeseburgers.
no, the dude hides in it at one point. Like it really doesn't fucking matter. Like why was it locked? It doesn't matter.
And then a chicken goes.
This
Oh
movie,
my God.
this
That's-
movie
I'll
was
talk
like
about
we're gonna
that.
set something up, and it's not gonna pay off.
Yeah, it was like all. I get what you're saying. Like they did a lot of, they laid a lot of good groundwork, and then we're just like, we don't know why we laid any of this groundwork because we're not gonna follow up with any.
None of it.
Like
None of
why?
it.
Like
Yeah.
who
So-
comes up with all these ideas and like, you know what? Fuck it, let's just go.
I feel like I can certainly appreciate what they were going for here, right? So like I like movies where there's an ensemble cast in one location.
Yep.
Like I love those types of movies.
That's
okay?
fine.
I like that a lot. I like vampire movies mostly. I like British humor mostly. Although I found this movie to be almost borderline incredibly unfunny. Like
wasn't
took
funny.
it took itself way too serious.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't a horror movie.
Yeah.
I read some review. They compared it to like What We Do in the Shadows. Like, shut the fuck
So-
up.
That's what I'm
So
saying,
I
is,
was
like,
going to
the
say
reviews
more,
were good,
more
and
on
I'm like,
that.
I
I
don't
was going to
get
say
it.
like there were a couple scenes that actually made me laugh out loud. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I don't think this is ever going to be considered amongst like the greats of horror comedies ever.
No.
But I would be lying if I didn't say that I had a good time watching this. Which I texted Matt and Andrew this morning and I said, Jesus, I feel like I'm going to be crucified for this.
Yeah.
But this is certainly not the worst movie I've ever seen. I enjoyed watching it. It was certainly fucking stupid. But at the same sense, like, I find myself thinking of like What We Do in the Shadows. Obviously, to a lesser degree. And also Dog Soldiers, which is a great movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
But
Which
just
is a
because you
werewolf
have
movie, obviously, but
Yeah.
like very similar setup, like good stuff. I prefer both those over this. And
Dog Soldiers. I
yeah,
still haven't seen
yeah,
that.
you got to watch that.
I literally spent this whole time watching this movie, being like, "Oh, something's gonna happen." No. Why did I recommend this movie? Why did I pick this movie?
I'm glad
I
you
could have
say
picked
that,
any
though.
fucking
I feel a
movie.
lot
Why did I
better
pick
now.
this one? This
you
is
hated it,
stupid.
too.
I was
But
prepared.
now I have to
I-
watch it too because I fucking
yeah,
picked it.
I was
I
fully,
thought you were trolling us.
No, not at all.
I was fully prepared for you to come on and like defend this movie to your
No,
death.
no,
but,
not
I'm,
at all.
I'm actually happy to hear
No.
it because
Yeah, 'cause-
it's almost like better if we all agree that this movie is not that great to talk about than it is if one of us is saying it's
I feel
good.
like not
If
that
anyone
great
were to
is
say this
an
movie was
overstatement.
good, I would just leave and disown that person for
Yeah.
the rest of my life.
I would like to see a good writer watch this movie.
And fix it.
No, and then write 4 good movies based on the premises that they put forward, because Vatican military hunting
This is a tall
vampires,
ask.
dude. Vatican vampire hunters. I would watch that fucking
Yeah,
shit.
Vatican vampires, not the army. They couldn't you have made them cooler?
Well, no, but,
Instead
like-
they have like heat scopes, and they're like
Well,
the
that's-
worst, the worst heat scopes.
Yeah, those are terrible.
Let me tell you
but
what.
I got the impression that they were the Swiss Guard, which is the Vatican's
Which
military.
is great, but they shouldn't have been dressed like just. They should have been like dressed like Van Helsing and like
Oh, no, see,
you
I
know,
would be
you know
okay
who's
with
been
that.
chasing a good version of this movie for years
Blumhouse.
is Universal Studios. They have been trying to find a way to make the Universal monsters important again for a long time.
Yeah, they have.
And
That,
if they were to
to
make
Not
this,
how to do it.
Dude,
No,
compare
no,
you're-
sir,
the
sir.
fact that you're comparing Universal monsters to this movie.
I'm
is-
just
It's
saying.
upsetting.
No, listen,
Yeah, a
listen.
little bit.
Hear me out.
No.
I can't believe you picked this movie, Mike.
Oh my god.
If
If this,
your privileges are revoked, you get to pick no more movies.
if it had actually been good and good special effects and good plot and good writing, right?
It's a lot of ifs.
If the priest had been named Van Helsing, okay, that's a different story type of thing.
See, no,
Could have
'cause
been-
th-
there
that
are
wouldn't
the
have saved this.
seeds.
That wouldn't have saved it.
No,
the
no,
movie-
listen.
no,
Hear
the
me
movie
out.
was terrible.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
There are the seeds for a good idea here.
That's what I'm saying. Is there's 4 different
Correct,
ones, but I don't
correct.
think they like
but if the
combine.
seeds bloom into shit trees, then they're still shit.
Okay.
Seems-
I'm trying to present
Yeah.
one sort of opportunity here for the movie to be good.
Nope, terrible.
Okay,
Worst
nah,
thing I've ever
fair.
watched.
So
I
what
wouldn't
you're
go
actually
that
doing
far.
here is you're shitting on Andy, our guest. Is what you're doing. You're shitting.
No,
on
I'm
Andy.
shitting on it
He's saying
too.
this movie sucks too.
But what I'm saying is, like, I feel like if you wanted to do, like, build out a vampire hierarchy culture type movie about how the vampires have divided up the world and the country, that sounds awesome. They hinted at it in the beginning. They never touched on it. Then there's this military force, which I took as the Swiss Guard, Vatican military vampire hunters. That sounds like a cool movie. Then there was the professional courtesy between like a serial killer and vampires living together. That sounds like a cool movie. A cosmetic company using vampires to make cosmetics. That sounds
movie.
like
Yep.
none of it like panned out.
Didn't they do that though? What was the Daybreakers?
Oh, with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't
They did
that,
it a
like,
little
kind
bit.
of
Yeah,
similar?
I think so. I would have to really go back
Another
and watch that movie.
trash vampire movie.
Or they're like, they're cops for.
Yeah. Actually, I think Sam Neill's in that movie too.
Sam Neill is in that
Yeah.
movie. That's correct. I know you have a boner for Sam Neill. That's for
Well,
sure.
he's been in some stinkers.
Yes.
He's
was also in
He's just
Possession.
been in a lot of movies.
He was in Merlin.
Merlin.
Merlin's great.
Merlin's a stinker.
Oh, Merlin's great. I like Merlin.
Well,
I like fantasy movies. Shut up.
I like that.
I mean, do we feel any sort of need to be easy on Jason Fleming because this is his directorial debut? Or
Okay, so
No.
this movie came out, what, 7 years ago? Has he made anything since?
I'm not sure actually. That's a very good question. Let me
so
find out.
here's the great question, and this
Find
is
out.
the tough thing about movies is whose fault is it? To point the finger at the director, you don't know.
The writing's bad.
The writing's very bad. And I thought the acting was bad.
The
too.
acting's bad.
I don't feel like anything was good in it.
Cinematography's
but it's like
bad.
where does that is
Special
it
effects.
is
Bad.
well the special effects is a low budget movie. If
Yeah,
it
but
was
they
a good
could've done
story,
more.
Where did the money go?
Yeah, well, they spent million.
Jason
over,
Statham,
what was-
Charlie
so-
Cox.
So what was Terrifier's?
I think, by the way, this is Jason Fleming's only
I
directorial.
wonder why.
Story checks.
but I mean, but that's the thing is like, was he being like noted to death by the studio? Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to point.
I don't think so.
I think he
What
picked the
studio?
wrong-
You know what I mean?
I mean,
he
he's
put
still
his
he's still
eggs-
making it for somebody.
He put his eggs
you know?
in the wrong
Well,
basket.
speaking of one of Andy's greatest fears, Jason Fleming, by the way, was also in an episode of Black Mirror. He was in the Waldo moment, which I think is the worst episode of
Is that
Black
the one
Mirror.
with the guy in the costume?
Damn. So this guy's just striking out.
That's the one
The
where
Waldo moment.
the guy that voices the cartoon teddy bear
yeah.
Oh,
runs
yeah.
for president in Britain in like one of the first couple of seasons.
Who's he in that one?
I'm trying to remember.
He is the boyfriend. The other guy that the main character loses his girlfriend to.
Okay.
So he's in that.
So this could just be an example of the Peters Principle. So the Peters Principle says that you get promoted to your level of incompetence. So he's a fine actor. He's been in a lot of movies. If you're a good actor, someone's like, hey, let's let you direct. Just because you're a good actor doesn't mean you can fucking direct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not saying it is his fault, but at the end of the day, you got to put the blame
But
on someone.
they all get a chance. Most of them do at some point. They
Yeah.
get a chance.
I
If
would
they
say
want it.
he probably did a lot of work to tell people, like, hey, there's this script. I want to direct it. I want to make sure this is a movie. I want to do it. And nobody had the foresight
Well,
to tell
that's
him, no,
Perfect
this movie
example.
sucks.
Olivia Wilde, Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
never going
right.
to direct another movie.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. She might because reasons.
well,
Reasons, we'll see.
well, let's take the devil's advocate. Is there any part of this movie where you're like, okay,
Oh, I thought you meant like the.
no,
I
no,
love
no,
that
no,
movie.
no, 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 not the
Yes.
devil's advocate.
So, yes,
Okay.
I say there are some redeeming qualities to this movie.
Yeah, I had the two, like the initial plot
Yep.
point at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, this is it sucked me in. I gave a shit. I was paying attention.
yeah.
And then, like I said, it gave, whether it did it on purpose or not, it gave a nod to like the look of the demons from, which by the way is Lamberto Bava, not Mario Bava. I had to,
Oh my
Of a
God!
rampart.
Why are you
Sorry.
on
How
the
dare
show?
you.
Jesus.
Oh, Matt, you're off the podcast, bro.
I'm sorry, buddy,
Supposed
but
to be our, you have a PhD in horror and you fucked up.
it was a brain fart. Sorry, it's this bourbon. But the that makeup effect was like, I was like, oh cool, that looks like the demons, and then I was like, all right, cool, like are they gonna turn into demons and start fucking shit up and like, or whatever the fuck, or like become real vampires and start ripping people apart? No, they
No,
didn't.
there's going to be
Yeah.
cheeky
The,
bad.
the thing that I was
They're gonna
wondering the
get
entire
cheeky.
time, right? So it was kind of inconsistent. So, okay, these vampires are clearly immune to bullets to a certain extent
Yeah.
until they get, impaled with wooden sticks,
Steak.
right?
Yeah.
As one would.
How can you not like just if you overtake all of them? At
Yeah,
the same
what difference-
Time, like, what
that's
the
the
fuck?
whole,
You
like,
can,
oh.
dude, if
Yeah.
they're shooting bullets at you, just fucking take them all and kill them all.
Yeah.
Like, why not? That's the whole
I-
thing. That's what I was
I
thinking.
agree
the entire
completely.
time.
That just seemed the
I
whole
don't know why
time.
they were like, our number one attack is going to be the old lady shooting them with a gun. You're a fucking vampire. Why don't you just rip them to shreds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially
Budgetary constrictions.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I get what they were trying to do. Again, it's like, small budget, like
I get that.
bunch of characters
Ruined
in a
my night
room.
with the movie. I didn't wanna-
Andrew, was there any part of it that you found?
I absolutely hated this movie, so that's all. I mean, yes, it had a lot of good ideas, but when you fail on every level, then those good ideas are only so good.
If I may, I have a
may.
redeeming part of the movie. So I actually laughed out loud when I believe the character's name is Veronica, and she is in the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And the soldiers come up and they shoot a rocket launcher at the barn
Yep.
and blow the barn up. And when the barn blows up,
Oh, the
after
chicken.
a second, a chicken comes flying out of the barn, and I
Goes for way too long.
It was so bad.
absolutely lost my shit.
that was
I
X
laughed
chicken.
so
Yeah.
hard.
That was
like
X chicken.
I absolutely died. I thought that was the funniest part of the whole movie. Clearly intentional. I
Oh,
loved
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
great. Oh, that was so funny.
yeah.
It took too long for the chicken to get out of the building, though. It blew up and then 30 seconds later.
If this movie had been funnier,
Oh, sure.
I
Yeah.
would have been more forgiving.
Yeah.
Of its,
100%.
like,
If it was actually
shortcomings,
funny,
you know, like
it
That,
just
I think that's
wasn't
what made
funny
it as
enough.
bad as it was that the comedy
yeah.
was not funny at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
the-
think
the-
I laughed.
Like there was a scene where so the dude, I laughed when he sat down in the chair and the chair had already broken off and he fell on the floor.
That was funny.
That made me
Yeah,
laugh.
That was funny.
But then he went to jump out the window and just bounced out the window.
That was so
and
bad.
even as he was running towards the window, I'm like, he's not going to go through the
He
fucking
wasn't
window.
going fast enough.
Yeah, it was just it.
Run faster.
It
bro.
almost looked like I'm gonna do this comedy physical shtick, but I know I can't break that window.
Yeah, he needs to be fat.
But no, but it was almost like we don't have permission to break this window and the money to replace it, so I'm gonna phone it in and not throw enough weight.
The
to it.
director
Physical
told me not
comedy
actually-
only
to
works
actually
when
not
it's a
break
fat
it,
guy.
you know?
Yeah,
That's
so
the Chris Farley rule.
It looked really dumb. And it was.
All right, Andy.
Matt,
well,
why did you make us watch this?
Andy, I mean, we all pick stinkers sometimes. So
I just appreciate the fact that you hadn't seen this.
for what it's
No.
worth, I'm going to give you credit because I wholeheartedly watched this movie being like Andy's trolling.
I wish.
I was like,
I
because
wish
when
that was.
where
I
you
wish that
picked
was-
rubber, I was like, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's-
have you?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So good.
Oh,
So,
I can't. I honestly,
Man,
I'm
I want to
amazed.
watch Rubber.
I know. it
No,
looks
dude,
fun.
yeah, it used to be on Sci-Fi.
I didn't know.
And
but it looks not intentionally.
it's goofy as
Yeah.
shit.
Well,
so I was like, Andy's just
possessive.
trolling, and I was like, that's Andy. Like, this is fine. So I went into this movie
I
being
wish.
like, this
I
is
wish
gonna
I
be
did
bad.
this on purpose to you.
So I think we talked about this before, but the reason that you almost picked Rubber was because you had the actress.
Yes,
that
and
was
she
in the
recommended
movie
Robert.
on your
no,
podcast.
she wasn't in it.
Oh,
She was an actress. She was a musician, and
Okay.
she recommended. Like we were talking about horror movies, and she's like, "You should watch this
So
movie."
she was trolling you.
No, I watched the trailer. I watched the
Rubber
trailer.
looks-
Rubber looks,
good.
fucking great.
I'm on board.
All right.
Your first
It's-
pick
it's
was
much-
an,
it's-
yeah,
it's
fuck.
very-
That's why I was
it's
so
bloody.
disappointed. Because I
Wait,
was like,
hang on, let me
"Oh,
mute Matt.
Fuck.
If you like good CGI blood,
I like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
It just
Yeah.
looked like a really silly concept.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a tired
it looked
killing.
fun.
yeah,
It's like
It looked like the kind of horror movie that like stupid.
it's got
fun.
trashy dialogue. Like, yeah,
I just want something that knows what it is, and that movie probably knows.
it does
What it is.
100%. That's why I was like, okay,
Like the
that's
dude
100%.
that made Rubber isn't like, oh, I'm getting an Academy Award.
This guy. The problem with this movie is
This guy
Fleming
tried
thought
really
he was
might
making
have.
the next
Yeah.
like Guy Ritchie movie
Yeah.
I don't
with
think
vampires.
he did.
100%.
I
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a reason why
Yeah.
he hasn't been offered another movie to make. Because they went, oh, you told us this was going to be so.
Well, the funny
fantastic movie."
thing is I watched the movie Abigail after
Okay.
this,
Okay.
and it's very similar.
It's brand new for this year. yeah.
Brand new for this year. It's a story of these criminals that kidnap this young girl because her father is like a rich mogul,
Oh yeah. I know this.
and they're trying to hold
her.
her for ransom, and she turns out to be a vampire. And
Spoiler.
that also is a horror. It's not, and that also
They show it in the trailer. So.
Yeah.
that
I know.
also is a horror comedy,
Yeah.
and that I actually was making me laugh out loud. Like
Yeah.
the dialogue's funny, the characters, like you even have like stupid like lug goofball dudes,
Yeah.
but they're still funny.
Right.
And I was
This is
saying
Charlie
today,
Cox. Charlie Cox is a good fucking actor.
I'm
Is
really
he?
Yeah.
not a vampire movie guy.
More on that in a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm really not a vampire movie guy. It just doesn't. It's not my monster of choice. I've always been a werewolf guy.
Okay.
But anyway,
Same.
and
I
so
grew up in the
watched.
very early '80s, so it was all vampires all the time.
Well, I was saying to them today, I'm like, you know how I know I really didn't like this movie is because I don't like vampires. I watched this and I watched Abigail after, and I enjoyed Abigail.
Yeah.
And I put myself
this
through
movie was
3.5 hours of vampire horror.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest vampire person.
Abigail's
That's
good.
the
I actually
Yeah.
do recommend Abigail. That was a
I
good
hate
watch.
the.
It was fun.
I hate the everyman vampire thing. That like they're like okay, they're people like you
Yeah.
know,
Dawn Till
yeah,
Dusk,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
cool with. Give me that.
From
Give
Dusk Till
me-
Dawn,
give
is-
me-
Yeah, that's what I meant.
but that's Quentin Tarantino and
Okay,
Robert
yeah.
Rodriguez. Like
Dusk Till Dawn, different story. Give me Christopher Lee. Give me Bela Lugosi. Give
30
me,
Days a Night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Different aspect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scary
Let the
ass
Right One In,
vampires.
Yep.
or-
And that-
Oh,
let me-
yes.
that one, yep.
And that was kind of part of the problem with this is they wanted you to relate to Charlie Cox as like, oh, he's the likable one, and it's just like I just don't
It's
fucking
just
care.
What
It
we do
just-
in the shadows is
what we do is in the is that's
hilarious.
That's amazing.
of
Yeah.
vampire
and this is
comedy.
just garbage.
Yes.
This was just.
Do you
garbage.
watch the show, by the way?
I've seen. Have I seen the? I think I've seen all of it.
Okay, so
yeah.
can we all agree the show has now surpassed the movie?
Oh,
it's better.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
100%.
It's better. Yeah.
When I think of it, I think of the show.
It's
I don't
fully
think of the movie.
fleshed
Yeah,
out at
for
this
sure.
point.
I think all the characters in the show are just absolutely phenomenal. It's so they're all so good. Oh, man.
Matthew Barry.
And by the way, final season was announced today. Is premiering on October 6th, and
Mm-hmm.
it's done.
Shout out Kyle Newacek, who's one of the directors. He was one of the directors and writers for Workaholics, which is
Okay.
I loved that show.
I love that show.
growing
You've
up.
always
Yeah.
been. You've always every time we've talked about what we do in the shadows, you've talked about Kyle Newacek.
You've
So, yeah.
You got to give him the flowers, man. He's a good writer, good director. He's funny. So
You're one to get.
I listen to a
flowers, my friend.
podcast that he's on too. So he is a funny dude. He's
Okay.
smart. He's insight on directing is very very cool. So
Dude, everything
Fair
about
enough.
that, fucking what we did in the shadows, is just spot
So
on.
good. Oh, it's so
now, what year did this come out? 2017.
2017. Yeah, so I have some other movies from that year, which we can get to. Real quick, because there weren't very many factoids that I could find on IMDb.
I can't imagine why.
So I talked about, obviously, Jason Statham being the
That's
stunt,
crazy.
stunt
That is
coordinator on
wild.
this.
That's crazy.
For that one fight scene, right? So,
You think that would be like?
They probably paid him $100,000 for that.
Oh, I'm sure they paid him more.
a lot.
Yeah, probably most
a
of the
lot more.
budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna make a movie with Jason Statham, be like Jason Statham.
What was
did
the budget? 1.5 million.
1.5 mil,
So he probably
We got
got
half of that.
850,000.
probably.
I mean, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
When you think about British chefs, who do you think of?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay or the Jamie Oliver.
Jamie Oliver. Celebrity chef and proponent of actually eating local, Jamie Oliver was both thanked and listed among the caterers for this movie. He
Really?
provided all the food for this movie.
And I'm gonna tell you, part of what sucked me in
Mm-hmm.
was that title, "Eat Local," because like inebriate is very much like keep your money local,
Of course,
support your
I
local
can
business.
certainly
And I'm
understand
like,
why
eat
you picked
local,
it.
and
Yeah.
it's a vampire movie. This is gonna be funny. And no, sorry,
And then it has
sorry.
the title doesn't even really play into the.
I don't know if you caught this.
Eat the locals.
The bags on the head of the farmers said "Eat Local" on them. That was
Oh,
the
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was the extent of the tie-in. I'm like, they weren't even eating locals.
They didn't need
We're
anybody.
using bad. Yeah, they did. One guy literally said, "I don't eat humans."
Yeah,
What kind of a fucking vampire are you?
right.
I eat.
And then the only
I don't like
people that they kill and
bothered
attack
me.
are the mercenaries.
More on that. So, I am not convinced that Charlie Cox is a very good actor.
I don't
I
even
think
know.
that-
who he-
neither.
I really don't
I think,
know.
I
who
think
he
that he is a. Hear me out. You go
Okay.
after. I think he's a very handsome guy that can convincingly portray certain types of people. I saw him in Boardwalk Empire. He was not very good in that. He has now been in Daredevil, which a lot of people love him for. He's now going to be apparently
Like
in
the
the
original
MCU.
Ben
Daredevil?
Affleck movie.
He is in the MCU.
He was
Ben
he
Affleck?
was
No, he's Daredevil.
No, he was not. He was not Ben Affleck Daredevil. He was Daredevil in the TV series that was on Netflix, and he's now apparently going to be Daredevil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward.
He already
I
is.
didn't even know there was a Daredevil.
He already is.
Yeah.
He already
right?
is.
He was in Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah.
Right. So he's in it. So he's already a star. But I'm not convinced that he's a very good actor. I don't
Okay,
think so.
so
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say
Counterpoint.
It's either one word or two words because I'm not sure. Stardust.
Yes, and there were actually a lot of the actors in this movie were in Stardust.
The one with
So-
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert De Niro, Henry Cavill, Charlie Cox. It's a phenomenal movie. It's so good. It's very Princess Bride vibes. And he's the main character. I wouldn't say he's a very good actor. Like I wouldn't, like to. I think he's very good in. I really like him as Daredevil, and I will tell you the moment that sucked me in as him as Daredevil. It's the very opening scene of the Daredevil show on Netflix. He's in confession very Daredevil thing to do. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about like, you know, like what, like how far is too far to fight crime kind of thing. And the priest is like, you know, are you asking me to like forgive you for like beating up and he's like, I'm not asking you for the sins that I've already done. I'm asking you about the sins I'm about to do. Mm-hmm. The way he delivered the line, I'm like, I'm fucking in. He's Daredevil. I was sold. I think Daredevil in general, not an awesome character, but I think he does a really decent job at it.
See, I think Daredevil is one of my favorite Marvel characters. Okay. He's kind of like the Marvel Batman, almost, I think.
Isn't he blind?
He's blind.
I don't get that connection at all. He's got no
dark,
money.
dark, brooding Irish Catholic guilt, just beating the shit out of everybody. And I tie that connection.
I don't know.
I know. Matt and Andrew aren't the same as.
Yeah.
Like, I know. I like superhero stuff. These two don't. I don't know. I
like Constantine. It's different.
Constantine's cool.
The best.
Yeah.
One of the coolest. Did you guys pick up on the Wilhelm scream in this movie?
Which one?
Yes.
There were a couple.
I did. I'm trying. There was one where I'm like, oh, there's a Wilhelm scream.
Every time I hear Wilhelm scream,
I can't help but
always
laugh,
make note.
dude. I laugh every.
Yeah.
There's
one of my best friends.
There's two of them.
Text notification is a Wilhelm scream. So I'm so used to
There's
hearing
two.
it.
So there's the like OG one that like you just did, and then there's the one that's like, like, and that one makes me laugh every single time because in Harold and Kumar 2, when they go to Guantanamo Bay,
yeah,
they infiltrate like a KKK meeting, and
I saw that movie. I've seen that movie.
You've never seen Harold and Kumar?
Oh
I've
my
seen it.
God.
I've seen it, but I don't.
It is
recall
so
much about
fucking
it.
funny. But they infiltrate a KKK meeting, and there's like two members that are like taking a piss on a log, and they like bash them and steal their costumes to infiltrate it because they're running away. And they just need to kind of use this as a getaway point. But at some point, when they do that, it kind of cuts to the original meeting that they're having, and you just hear that like. And it's just like the most unnatural noise. And that movie came out when I was probably 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And
Fuck you.
smoking a bunch of weed, like watching it all the time. And it used to make me laugh so fucking hard. That sound like coming from someone in that scene. So anytime I hear that now, I fucking die laughing. It's just such a crazy sound. But the Wilhelm scream is fucking.
It's always good.
It's great, dude.
It's one of those things like every time I watch a movie where it's in, I pick up on it.
Oh yeah. Like once you know about it, you can't not hear it.
You can't unhear it. So it's pretty funny. So, guys, what else on Eat Locals?
Poop.
Before we
Eat shit and die.
Can I run through the year 2017 in horror for you guys real quick?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So
This will be good because Andy.
This will be why it only made $16,000.
So we actually. So it's funny because we did one time an episode called "This Year in Horror," and we did it for 2017, where we basically ran through movies, TV, books, the cultural climate of the year 2017, and. We talked about a lot of different stuff, but this is one of the best years for horror in the 20 teens. I don't know if that's the exact name of it or whatever, but banger year for movies and TV. So here's some of the movies that came out in 2017. So we've talked about these a lot. Andy, just if you've seen them, comment on them briefly and we'll move on. Ready?
Okay.
All right, so this is a Netflix exclusive, 1922, starring Thomas Jane. Pretty good movie. Stephen King story.
King.
Seen it?
Yeah, short story.
Nope. Okay. Alien Covenant. Banger.
I think so.
Danny McBride's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have seen it.
Really good.
Yes.
For some reason, they opted not to continue the Prometheus Alien Covenant trilogy based on the performance of this movie. I wish they had.
Alien's one of those ones where I'm like, have I seen it? I think I've
With
seen
so
it.
many,
Yeah, there's so many
facets of it. Yeah.
Amityville: The Awakening.
Is that the one with Ryan Reynolds?
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I
This
saw
is the
with Ryan
one that
Reynolds.
had the kid from Shameless in it, right?
Lip Gallagher.
No,
the kid from the
the
Bear.
other brother, the younger, the
It had
redheaded
Bella
kid.
Thorne was in it.
Little
I
redhead.
believe.
Yeah,
I don't know what his
Oh,
I'm gonna pretend like I don't know who Bella
Cameron
is.
Monaghan was the kid's
How
name.
do you know his name?
I know everybody's name. You know this.
That's
why
such
we-
a random.
he's a professional,
like,
dude.
I get it with like certain people, but that is such a random name.
That's
I
showbiz.
watched
The only one I got was
Shameless.
Bella Thorne.
Shameless
I'm
was
gonna tell you,
great.
I don't know why.
Anna and the Apocalypse.
Oh, Sarah really likes this movie.
Yeah, horror
We watched
musical,
this.
right?
Yeah.
About zombies in the high school, whatever.
No.
Apparently, not a bad movie. Annabelle Creation.
No.
Nope. Okay, fair enough. The Babysitter. That's another
I've
Netflix
seen
movie.
that. No.
Yeah, not good. Nope.
It's fine for. It's like a teenager's movie.
I can tell you by the title of this next one, The Bye Bye Man. Bye bye.
The Pee Pee
No,
Poo
thank
Poo
you.
Man?
The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. Andrew, here's one I know you've seen. Andy, tell me if you've
Ritual.
seen it. Creep 2.
I don't
Have you
think
seen
so.
Creep, the original Creep?
I don't think so.
Oh, you would love.
You
both
would
of
love
those.
it. Yeah.
You should check them out.
You a fan of the Chucky movies?
Yeah.
You seen Cult of Chucky?
No.
That
I
came
have
out in
not.
2017.
I don't think I've seen a Chucky movie in 25. Like,
Yeah, since the
I
one with the
remember when
chick
they
from
were.
Liar Liar.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Bride
Jennifer
of Chucky.
Tilly.
Oh, Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about The Endless, which is a sci-fi horror movie? Very good.
No.
Nope. Okay,
Did
fair
I
enough.
watch any movies in 2017?
How about a terrible remake of Flatliners that came out in 2017?
Oh,
Seen that?
I remember that coming out
Yep.
and intentionally not seeing that.
No thanks. How about Gerald's Game? Another Stephen King adaptation.
No.
Very
good.
dude. Honestly,
Yeah?
Mike Flanagan.
seek it
Both
out.
of those, the
Mike
1922 and Gerald's Game, are both phenomenal
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, very. This was a very good year for Stephen King, as you'll hear in a second here. So Gerald's Game, 1922, very good. Arguably the biggest movie of the year, Get Out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, great movie. We talked about this.
And I saw it late too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Get Out's very good. If not a little bit overrated, but still very good.
No, it's his
Oh,
best
I don't
movie.
think
It's
so.
a banger.
I still kind of like Us a little
I
bit
think Us is
better.
better.
Really?
Kinda
You think
like
so?
Nope
I gotta
a little better,
rewatch Us
too.
because I've only watched
I
that a
love
couple
Us
of
just
times.
because it's so.
But I feel like
weird.
Get Out is, and I'm going to reference your Godzilla -1 episode. Without Get Out, nothing else happened.
That's true.
This is
That's
true.
a very good point.
Yeah.
That's your point.
Happy Death Day also came out in 2017.
I've never heard of that. No, so that is, I can mark that as like the first quote unquote adult movie that I took my son to.
Beautiful.
Like he was a teenager at that point, and I'm like, "You want to go see a horror movie?" And we went and saw that movie.
That's
And,
cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
I
really
know you
like
said you liked it. Did
I
you
did.
Like it?
I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Did your son like it?
Yeah, yeah.
That just
yeah.
made me like excited to do that. With,
I know.
Like,
I can't. I
Layla
can't
and
wait
Vera.
for that.
The movie. So like, as my kids got older, like I was very much into media. I'm a big nerd, and I'm like, oh, what movie? You know, I want to show them Stand by Me. I want to show them Labyrinth, and all these movies that meant a ton to me. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I want to show them Pump Up the Volume, and then within 5 minutes, I'm like, that movie means nothing to them.
I've never seen Pump Up the Volume.
So Pump Up the Volume is about this kid whose family moves to a town. He doesn't want to be there. He misses his friends.
Sounds like he ends up taking up interpretive dance.
He starts a pirate radio station
Okay.
with like the fucking coolest music of the time, and he's like raw, and people are calling in. They're talking about like masturbation and suicide, and it's like it's really, and not like a funny way, like in a real way.
Yeah.
And the FCC's trying to track him down. It's this whole thing, and everyone's upset in town. And like, his radio name is Harry Hardon, I think.
Harry Hardon.
Yeah,
That's sick.
and it's fucking amazing because it's like, fuck the establishment, and I'm gonna do what I want. I don't care about the FCC.
Punk rock.
Yeah, it's very punk rock. And then I'm like, I want to show my kids to it, and then I'm like, oh, it's gonna be totally lost on them. They'd be like, yeah, everybody has a fucking
Yeah, dude,
podcast. and
we
you're like,
watched-
no, it's not a podcast.
It's like, yeah, like we can watch porn on our phone.
Yeah. It's like you had to steal the airwaves.
Yeah.
And like, I don't understand. Why didn't you upload it online? Because online didn't exist. I'm like, this movie's
Forget it.
lost.
Shutting
on
it
that.
off.
Yeah.
Didn't age well.
Yeah, it's just it is.
Isn't that fucking
It's not that
shitty?
it didn't. It's not that it didn't age well. It's just kids. This is not shitty because it means
No,
amazing
no. I mean,
things for them.
Sure, but isn't it shitty that like you lose the gravity of movie like that because kids are like, well, what the fuck? Like,
Well,
why
it
does...
just makes no sense. It would be like if there was a movie about smoke signals that was important to like my grandfather. and I'd be like, no one fucking uses smoke signals anymore. It's not that the
Well,
movie.
that fucking saved my life.
But you can still appreciate the usage of smoke signals because you're taught you were taught certain things in school. Now they're not taught anything.
No.
You don't
This
think
this
that's-
year
no?
this is like ageist bullshit. That's not true at all. It's just it's you're expecting them to have the same experience as you, and for them, it's not that they weren't taught. It's just for them to be like, well, why isn't he like? Why is
Why doesn't he just call a cop?
so? I'll roll this back to another movie. There's a movie called Gotcha, and it is about this guy in college that had this game where they would assassinate each other with like paintball guns. And he ends up going to like Germany and East Berlin and West Berlin, and the communists are chasing him, and it was like a big 80s movie. And I'm watching it with my nephew. My nephew was like 12 at the time. And halfway through the movie, I turn to him and I go, you don't know why the communists are chasing him, do you? And he goes, no. And I go, every time they say communist, insert the word terrorist. And he went, oh, it's so
Yeah.
of the time. It's not anyone's like lack of knowledge. It's just of the time.
Presence of
Current
events.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
my kids are gonna have movies that mean a lot to them, that their kids are gonna watch and be like, I don't understand. Why didn't they just use the fucking chip in their brain or whatever the fucking new technology is?
Damn.
It's just so of the time that you can't recapture it. Like the FCC doesn't mean what it did at the time. Because like now, if you want to speak out and say whatever you want, you just go online. And the idea of not having that ability just seems so foreign.
You're just yelling out to strangers
Into the
that'll
ether.
be like, all right,
Yeah,
maniac.
if you want to
Yeah.
sit here and talk about a really bad horror movie for 126 minutes, I'm sorry, an hour and 26 minutes,
Wow, is that how long?
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit.
then like that would never happen because it would go nowhere. And it's just
Probably for the better.
maybe.
if I may, speaking of adapting older horror stories for a new medium, also probably the second biggest horror movie of 2017 besides Get Out was Andre Muschietti's It.
Yeah.
Oh,
was huge.
Fucking phenomenal.
so
movie.
good.
Yeah, so good. The best. One of the best. I love the sequel. I've talked about this numerous
I
times.
think the new Pennywise is one of the creepiest fucking monsters I've seen in a long time.
Bill Skarsgård kills
Yeah.
it. Absolutely kills it. And I'm happy to hear that he's returning for the new Welcome to Derry series
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
going to be on HBO next year. So anyway, I digress. It Comes at Night, an A24 movie that is definitely not quite a horror movie that people
No,
were disappointed in.
That was
Boring.
a fucking
Andy,
bummer.
seen it?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, fair enough. How about Jigsaw? Another entry in the Saw franchise.
Oh my god. Have I seen that one?
It's bad. Don't.
I don't know if I have. I've
It's
seen
bad.
I've
It's
seen
not
a
great.
few of the Saw movies. I don't know. I don't think I've seen that.
Great.
Well,
There's
there's
too many to
12.
remember.
so-
Yeah.
Let's
Well, that's the thing,
continue
yeah.
the franchise train. How about Leatherface, another movie in the Texas Chainsaw
Not
Massacre
awful.
franchise? Nope, no, thank you. Here's a really, really good one. Have you ever seen Life with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds?
I have not seen that one.
No, but that
the
sounds
one
like
on a
something I would
spaceship?
want to see.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a space movie.
Yeah. Spaceman.
Very much an alien type movie.
Yeah.
Body
Body
horror.
horror.
Very good. Very good. Check it out. I know Matt and Andrew will both ejaculate in their pantaloons when I say this
They
one.
will come at night.
Darren, they will come at night. Tonight.
Mother.
Darren Aronofsky's Mother.
Yeah, I like this movie.
Love that movie.
Sarah
Seen it?
would.
No.
Never seen it?
No.
Oh, Andy, you got to see it. This is one of those movies you got to see at least
one time
once.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my particular cup of tea.
You want to feel
It's
stressed,
fucking
dude?
Weird. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This most stressful. One of the most stressful movies I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about some French horror? Raw? Ever seen it?
No.
Ooh, great.
Fantastic.
Great.
That's a great one.
Great movie.
I feel out of my league here.
You got some work to do, my
I
friend.
know.
Yeah, we got some homework for you.
How about the sequel to The Ring called Rings?
No. I Ring was.
I don't know if I actually watched
The
it.
Ring.
The
Stinky.
original Japanese series is fantastic.
Even the remake, The Ring, isn't bad.
I don't know.
No, they're-
I'm just
yeah.
I'm
It was
laying
fine.
out for
Yeah.
you the movies that
But I'm
came
just
out this
saying,
year,
the
regardless of
sequels
quality.
Oh, the sequels
from Japan are
good.
good.
Are
Yeah.
they?
One of the most highly regarded horror movies of this year that I don't particularly care for, that I know Andrew loves, Split from M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, I don't love, but it's a solid movie.
I don't like him. Not Shyamalan.
I don't
No.
either. Yeah,
No.
I didn't
It
like
like-
this one.
He's one. I feel like
Signs or Unbreakable.
Signs is so fucking stupid.
That's such a bad.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Andy.
Hate that movie.
Battle of the Andrews.
Like they came here and they can't.
You want to tell me The Village
water?
or The Lady in the Water is bad? I'll agree with you. Signs? Ooh.
Signs had some good
Village? I can't
Sixth
speak.
Sense?
I like Sixth Sense.
Unbreakable.
once.
I don't.
See, I don't
like-
give a shit about that movie.
Unbreakable.
was pretty good.
Unbreakable
I thought it was
stinks.
pretty-
Unbreakable. Sixth Sense.
Stinks.
I liked.
Stinks.
Hated
Stinky.
Signs. Signs was. I'm like. I don't like. They're afraid of water. Like,
Signs might
I
be
can't
his,
believe that.
Signs might be his best movie.
really? It's so
I
I think it's his best
actually
movie,
I
yeah.
actually agree that Signs is his best movie.
I think so. Yeah.
I can't speak to Village because I got a bootleg copy of Village before it was available on DVD, and I was coming home from a Comic-Con, and my ex-wife wanted to see it so bad that I watched like the first 10 minutes and fell asleep.
Did you not finish it?
I woke up as the fucking state troopers standing there, or whatever. I'm like, well, I got no fucking reason to watch this movie. I just saw
In your
the
living
end.
room? Oh.
So like I saw like the big reveal.
Is that
So
what happened?
I don't know,
Happening?
there's like a state trooper. Or
Oh
something?
no, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying
That's
he
like
woke
the
up
big-
in a
that's-
state
that's-
trooper.
No, I
Oh
know.
no,
That's when Mel Gibson's wife got Shyamalan.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know. I thought Sixth Sense was great, and then I don't recall
That's
anything
it.
he's done
All
that
right.
I thought was.
I'll move on real quick. Have you seen Long Legs yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go see it Saturday.
Go
You
see
should.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see it as soon as you can. Have you seen another movie from Osgood Perkins called The Black Coat's Daughter?
I've seen nothing new.
Okay. So
That's old.
Okay, all right. I spent my
You
movie
should-
watching time watching Eat Local.
okay. So I would recommend that
For
before
years.
either before or after you go see Long Legs,
Yeah.
watch The Black Coat's Daughter, which is
Okay.
another movie
Fantastic.
by him. I feel like it's a great double feature, very similar vibes. That's all I'll say about that for that. How about The Killing of a Sacred Deer?
Ooh.
I didn't even heard of that.
Bang.
Fantastic
Dude, you
fucking
got some.
movie.
You got some.
Yorgos
catching up to do,
Lanthimos,
my
Lanthimos,
friend.
dude.
Yeah.
This is a fucking serious must-watch
This just goes
movie.
to show how many horror movies we watch. 'Cause
Bangers,
Yeah.
dude.
Just
This
know
year,
that.
this is again.
Sad.
There's a reason we
Kind of
covered this.
I feel like I need to look
what
up
we do,
movies
brother.
that
Yeah,
came out in
that's
2017 that I have seen.
How about The Ritual? Great movie.
Good
the
movie.
best.
Netflix?
That's the top 3 for that year.
No.
Easily.
Andy's just not a horror movie guy.
No, I like all
Apparently
movies.
not.
You do, but you don't like exclusively
I don't
watch
gravitate.
horror
Yeah,
movies.
like I want a good movie.
Unless it's about cheeky vampires or rubber tires.
Did you? So
Listen, the rubber tires.
did
yeah.
you watch
I'm-
like?
I'm on
I was
board
fun.
with the
Do you
Rebel.
watch like any of like the Oscar-winning movies that come out each year? Like, are
I
you
used-
like you
I-
see what the best pictures are? Do you try to watch?
I
those?
used to like be really into like I would see what they were and go back and watch them because they were
Yeah.
never like the number one films. I have just been, and this is such a bullshit cop out, but like I've been so busy.
That's fine. Dude, you
Godzilla,
are busy.
Godzilla -1 took me 4 sittings to get through.
It's
What?
long.
That's insane.
No,
Oh,
just because
dude.
I would put it on and,
just
fucking
get
fall
distracted.
asleep,
Oh.
and it's like
Just
sub.
we're too
You're not a
tired.
subtitles
It
guy.
got no. It was just I was like
Tired.
I get into the office around like 10 in the morning, and then our events usually wrap up around 9 at night. By the time I get home, it's like 10:30, 11. I have something
Yes,
to
it's
eat.
a long day.
So then I try to watch a movie, and it's got
Absolutely not a
subtitles.
chance.
Sure,
Yeah.
understood.
No
yeah,
chance.
I will admit this on your show. When there was the big reveal at the end of Godzilla -1 that the girl's still alive, and I was like, they thought she was dead.
Spoiler alert.
yeah. Spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, how did I miss that entirely? Like
I will say
That's another
from
song
what
in time.
other movies like that are non-horror that came out last year that are worth watching. Oppenheimer, which I haven't seen,
I haven't seen
yet.
that yet. That's on
I
my
don't know if it was
list.
last year. Banshees of Inisherin.
Saltburn.
Phenomenal.
Banshees of
Banshees was
Inisherin.
2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Oppenheimer's on my list. Barbie's on my list. There's a bunch of shit on
Killers
my
of the Flower Moon,
Yeah.
the Scorsese movie.
Saltburn's a good
I
one.
really want to see Megalopolis. I don't think that's out.
That's
yet.
not out yet.
It's not out yet. We actually saw a preview.
There's a
for
trailer
that.
for
We
it
saw
for
Long
Long
Legs.
Legs.
Yeah, like
Um,
I love movies and like I miss DVDs because I
Listen,
would
if you watch one movie of anything that came out last year, it's the least taxing one, The Holdovers.
okay.
Oh, that movie was
That movie
fantastic.
rocks.
You would
Paul
actually-
Giamatti.
I feel like
It's
that's
it's
a movie
I do like Paul
wholesome.
Giamatti a lot,
It's
yeah.
it's kind of a feel good movie.
Yeah.
It's
I think it's the same
nice.
writer from
Sideways.
Sideways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you
Yeah.
like that movie.
It is.
That movie rocks.
Real quick, I'll run through them real quick. The Void, Tigers Are Not Afraid, Veronica, and XX. Any of those?
Is that
Sound familiar?
XX? Is that the one with
No.
Ice Cube? No.
No.
It's Triple X, and that's what
all right,
Diesel.
all right.
XX is an anthology movie with all the segments directed by female directors. The Void is the takeaway from
Banger.
those movies.
Yeah.
Banger, banger, banger. If you like Lovecraftian horror,
Okay.
oh, baby. One of the best. So good.
You love worms.
Worms? Yeah, I know. That's always the running joke with me. It's not even wormy. It's just tentacly. Guys, come on.
Tentacles and worms.
Were you talking like
Same.
Japanese porn? Like
No, no, God, I'm not even that weird. Like, I like
Look at them.
serpents and weird movies. I don't know.
He's getting all worked
I
up.
know.
Thinking all tentacles.
Come on,
and
like
bum
Andrew's already ruined my rug. Don't make it worse.
Whatever, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. He already put his feet in your rug. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do anything else to it. So, all right.
It's as bad as it can get.
I know my feet. They're just so.
Now I gotta
sick.
order.
Yeah,
a new one.
Andrew's feet are worse than cum.
Worse than Mike's worm.
Might have been the best joke that
That is going to be my review.
Andrew's feet. Are
I'm
going
going
to
to review your podcast on iTunes.
as long as you give it
Andrew's
5
feet is worse
stars.
than cum. Of course, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Maybe I'll get a little. People will be like, "Let me see them feet." Now.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that most
They
people
might.
won't realize that we've done almost 3 hours now worth of podcasting.
dude.
Pretty much,
Really?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't
It's,
even eaten dinner.
Neither
fucking
have I.
fantastic. I've had
Yeah.
I've had an absolute
My
blast.
wife's like, what the fuck? So,
Guys, anything else we want to say about Eat Locals? I think we've probably
No,
exhausted our
I-
opinions in this movie.
I would say
right?
don't see it.
yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll give it if Kat was here, 2 thumbs way down.
It's a skip.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done a universal skip.
I mean, I'm not.
Mike
gonna,
likes it.
I'm not
No, he
gonna say
doesn't.
Skip.
Mikey likes it.
He's
Mikey
just
likes
being
everything.
Nice. Mike's just being nice.
Mike
no, I'm
likes
not
everything.
being nice. I actually kind of enjoyed watching it. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't like it's not Citizen Kane for Christ's sake.
Nothing.
Like, whatever.
I said this last time. Citizen Kane also fucking sucks.
Oh, bite your tongue. See,
No, dude.
No,
It's
Citizen
Citizen Kane is
Rosebud.
boring as
Safe
shit.
word.
Citizen
No, it's
Kane's
just,
amazing.
All I'll
it's
say,
boring
all
as
whatever.
shit.
Watch Eat Locals.
No, don't
Don't
watch
I
watch
don't
Eat
give a fuck.
Locals.
Don't say watch it.
Watch it or don't. I don't personally
No,
don't
don't
give
3 out of 4
one-
say don't.
Stop.
1/8
People,
of a
people,
fuck.
People come to us for
Spend,
what to watch. Don't
spend
tell
an
them to
hour,
watch
make
this.
yourself a nice dinner.
Do not watch. Do not watch.
Yeah, don't.
Sure.
Burn.
Go see
after
Long Legs
reading.
instead. Go
Yes,
see
go see
Maxine
Long
instead.
Legs.
Go do any of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Watch
anyway.
the Blackcoat's Daughter.
But hopefully you had a good time listening to us talk about it. I mean,
Citizen Kane is
whatever.
also boring. So
Citizen Kane was great.
it's boring.
Anyway,
Rosebud.
I think that's probably going to do it for another episode of America's Hometown Horror. I certainly appreciate everybody listening to this episode. Andy,
Mike's tight.
we certainly appreciate you being here, my friend.
Was I supposed to be recording this?
Oh, don't even fuck with me, my friend. That's okay. Actually, you know what? If that was the case, then Andrew and Matt would probably be like, "That's all right, fine."
Whatever.
The movie stinks. Anyway.
No, I'd be pissed because I'd be like, I watched that movie for nothing.
That's a fair
I mean,
assessment.
guys, to be honest, we are in a podcast studio right now with microphones directly in our face.
It's a great studio. This is cool.
This is the
Thank
most
you.
professional environment that we've ever been in, ever, recording a podcast. So, I mean,
Oh,
our buddy Shano has been trying to get us to do something like this forever. We just have
We will.
a Yeti microphone in our
hey,
face.
there's a Yeti Nano just to your right. And
Yeah.
We're going to get
So
there.
can
We
take
do the
that?
best we can. We do
No,
the best
I
we
use
can.
that all the
I thought
time.
we were taking that.
No.
We do the
was
best
a
we
gift.
can.
No, it's not a gift. Fuck off.
Andy,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about where everybody can find you if they want to keep up with you, my friend.
On the FBI's most wanted list. No, I mean, search Inebri, INEBRI-ART. We're everywhere. Listen to the shows, come to our events.
Yeah.
Do a lot of stuff. Go back to the beginning of the episode. Listen to that again.
Beautiful.
Because
Yep.
that's stuff.
Can find you around town.
Yeah.
You do
Around
generally have
many
to
towns.
register when you move to a new town, right?
Sorry that I'm trying to promote the people that are on this.
No,
podcast.
I
Good
know.
Lord
But it's
Almighty.
been like 3 hours.
You
and-
ungrateful.
I'm not saying it's been too
swines,
long.
all
We've
of
just
you.
been drinking beer and bourbon. So
Same. Yeah, we've had a
Yeah.
lot of bourbon.
You've had a lot of bourbon.
I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't.
I'm
Thank God.
bourbonless.
You're driving.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
driving.
gonna
I
say
can't even drink bourbon.
go make a better movie than this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Tortuga
It's a doable
takeover.
thing.
Tortuga takeover, baby.
See you next week.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Thanks so much for tuning
Hey,
in.
Mike,
We
do you have a pick for next
appreciate
week?
it. And yes, I do. That pick is going to be, which I was scrolling through Amazon Prime Video recently. It's going to be Alligator from 1980.
Why couldn't I be on
baby.
that one?
Come back on.
Come back on.
We need a guest all the
All
time.
right, all right.
We'll
Alligator.
always
That
take
sounds
guests.
way better than the one I picked.
Oh, you haven't seen that one?
No.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh,
It's
dude.
way better than the one
Is
I
that
picked.
even going to be out in chronological order anyway? Actually,
It's going to be years before this episode drops. No, I'm just kidding.
So we now have 1, 2.
We got a
This is our
handful.
third episode in a row that we don't know when it's going to be
backlogged.
out.
Yeah,
so,
it's just
yeah,
extra.
backlogs. Dude, if you want to watch the movie,
Dude,
come on.
backlogs are the
Absolutely.
best way to do it.
You just
Like,
gotta,
yeah.
you,
Then if we
you gotta
have to
come
take
over
a week
to
off,
my
we still
house
gotta-
and record in our basement.
All right.
Welcome to my house. No, I'm sorry.
I'm not bringing all
To
the
die. All right, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Andy, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
on.
dude, thank you so
fantastic
much. We
time.
really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Much obliged.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope you had fun. Hope
I'm gonna
you
steal
had as
this
much fun as
board.
we
I
did.
like this.
And thanks so much. We'll talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye to your audience. Good evening.
Good evening.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Fuck you.